Claire Cousins, and I have been playing. I've been enjoying my Easter holiday break and really made a complete mess of my workshop, or workroom I should say. I'd like you to come and see what I've been doing. I've been playing around with fabric manipulation and developing textures, and I've now managed to put it all in an art pad, and I'll talk you through it. So come into my desk and come take a look. I thought I'd quickly film a short video before I tidy up my workroom, putting off the inevitable of putting things back. But I thought you'd like to have a look to see what I've been up to. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Here we go. Okay, so this is just an ordinary cheap Crawford and Black's Field Sketchbook from the works. I've already done the front cover exploring texture and fabric manipulation. What I did is I've managed to cut these all out. You get a pair of scissors and you just snip between the bindings, and that allows you to pull the pages out, and it also allows you to pop them back in. However, what I will say with these particular art pads, the paper is not that thick, and so I'm not entirely sure how long that will last. It might be that I have to reinforce that or remount them at some point. But I've done that, and which allows you to take the pages out. So once the pages are out, these are ones I've rejected because I've tore them as I pulled them. Oh, actually, that's not too bad, that one, but you can see, because of the little cuts, once the paper's out, it allows you to have it flat and you can print it. And what I was using polystyrene sheet. This was actually done with fibres that had actually got stuck to my roller. I picked up some, in fact there's a bit there still, I picked up some fibres on my roller by accident and ended up producing some really quite interesting effects. Here I've used toilet roll. Where's my toilet roll? End of the toilet roll. It was just squidged into it. Here I quite like this effect. I've used it elsewhere, you'll see it later on. I've put elastic bands around the toilet roll and then just rolled it with ink on, and that's got those nice effects. This is just a brayer. Cleaning up a brayer is often another way of getting some interesting colour. Then once I've developed all the papers, I've then, in this particular page, I've cut into it, or actually torn it to be honest, and opened it up. And then I've actually sewn some organza and some metallic fabrics on the back of it. But even on this side, on the reverse, it's actually just as pretty. This again was the roller with the threads caught on it, purely by accident, but that's how I like it. It's nice to have accidents happening. So that's been nice. This is a fabric manipulation piece that I've done for Embroiderers Guild. And I've decided to stick it in here because it sort of reflects this book. The whole book is about textures and fabric manipulation, so I've popped them all in here. Stitching threads on. This is the corrugated card I was using to print with, but I quite liked it. In fact, there's some still left here. So I've just used some corrugated card, get some different print effects, and then I've torn it up, and again that's the texture, and you can sew into that. It actually sews really nicely onto the paper. This is a bubble wrap effect, so you either you can pick up the ink off your polystyrene by putting your bubble wrap and then using the bubble wrap as a stamp, or when you take the bubble wrap off and then you print what's left on your polyboard, you can get the reverse effect. Here is actually the end of a cotton reel, which I'm not sure that's gone now, but it's probably around somewhere. This is the corrugated card being printed. This is the reverse of the bubble wrap, so what was left, I don't know if you can see that, you kind of get the negative here, the negative bubbles if you like. This one, now that was a bit of brayer work, a bit of corrugated card, and then the doing that at an angle. I really like that. In fact, I like that so much that might be something I use, because it looks a bit like reeds. I thought might use that in a landscape. So whatever I do on the paper, you can do on fabric. So this is like pre-prep for ideas that will hopefully spark that off, because I really do like that reed look. So I'm going to definitely explore this one further. This is squares of fabric stitch down, and they're loose. This is pleating technique of sort of ribbon pleating. I quite like that. And then I've also reflected it in the papers at the bottom, just here. Some more different pleating effects. Oh, this is actually twisting. So you stitch, you twist, and I've alternated the twist here. This one is a box pleat, which you then squeeze the centre in. Then I had a little bit of paper weave at the bottom. I just thought that would balance as a page, make it look nice. This here, you remember I said to you about that strange roller getting covered in threads? Just do a little bit, then a little bit there, and then the elastic band technique in the centre. I really love that. It's almost like it looks like flowers or seed heads reflecting. That's turned out, I don't know how much of that you can see, but I really like that effect. Again, that might be something I explore more on fabric. It's stronger on this one, but I really like that. I thought about pleating bits of spare card I'd got lying about, stitching them on just to see. Not sure I like that, but that's why we play. But it did bring me up with this idea of this wool that I pleated and stitched one way and pleated the other way, and then I've just roughly stitched it onto a piece of needle felted work I'd got hidden in my stash. So that's quite nice. This one I really enjoyed doing. It's, believe it or not, it's 3 different papers, and I liked it because I liked the design here, and then I've stitched bits of paper on in exploring circles, and then I like the darker purple, another piece, and I stitched that on. And then I thought, well, I don't want any more colour, so I just did it with the white paper. And even the reverse side of it, I really like that. And it ties in nicely with this particular piece of just general gathering, different materials, piercing fabric through other fabrics, forming bubbles like that. And here is bubble wrap. This is what I'm actually using to print with. I quite liked it. In fact, there's still some nice bits there I could stitch somewhere else, I'm sure. And I've just stitched them on. Quite like that. That moves on to this page. Sometimes it's nice to have a bit of a rest. You know, your eye needs a rest. So these pages might appear blank, but it gives you the eye a rest because there's so much going on the opposite page. This is more of this piercing work with different colours. And I even actually like the back. It looks very tatty, but textural. So I've only put 1 pin in there because I actually quite like to be able to lift it up and look. And this here was it's this yarn that my friend very kindly bought me back from Spain. And I've put it on the bobbin, and it's free motion machine embroidered. And I was just following, believe it or not, I was following the toilet roll marks on this side, and because I'd got this on my bobbin, it's appeared, and I really like it. I really do like that bobbly effect. Here, so this is I printed with the toilet roll, and where I printed it for some bizarre reason reminded me of Honesty, the seed heads. So some bits of paper I'd cut from a different page, I cut them and machine stitched them on, and that's quite nice. This is just a piece of paper that I overworked. Never liked it and kept printing and printing over it, but actually now I quite like the layers. And this is my final sample for the Embroiderers Guild fabric technique. Different types of pleating, hexagon, Suffolk puffs or yo-yos, and then just sewing scraps into a little gathering. I quite like that. That's quite sweet to make little almost flower effects. So I thought, well, I'd better put some leaves at the bottom, and I've just used some paper to create that effect. And I think, yes, apart from that is my elastic band rollering and some more of that raggy printing. That is the start of my book. Now the problem is, I said that's the start of my book. It's already getting a little bit cumbersome to close. So I'm still in debate as to whether to carry on and end up with a book that's more like this because it's so full of stuff, or whether to take the other pages out. That is something I'm still debating. But I hope my little show and tell of my play has given you some ideas to have a little go at producing your own texture exploration book, because as I say, this now has led me to some new ideas which I was beginning to struggle to think of new things, but it's been nice to have a play. thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye for now.